Welcome back to Our Issues Milwaukee. I'm your host, Andrea Williams. In Wisconsin, human trafficking is defined as any situation in which a commercial sex act is induced by force, fraud, or coercion, or in which the person induced to perform such acts has not attained 18 years of age. My next guest is the chair of the Human Trafficking Task Force of Greater Milwaukee and the CEO of Foundations for Freedom Incorporated, Miss Dana World-Patterson. Hi, Dana.
Hi, thank you for having
back.
me. Oh, it's my pleasure.
Yeah, it's been a while.
It has.
Yeah.
Thank you for having me.
My pleasure. A report by the City of Milwaukee and the Medical College of Wisconsin showed 97% of human trafficking victims are women. 65% of them are African American and 55% are between the ages of 14 and 17. All of that very disturbing, of course. So we've heard over and over again that Milwaukee is a hub and one of the cities that has the highest number of human trafficking. So if you would kind of explain the work that you do through your organizations on helping to put a stop to this.
Those numbers are devastating, and it's a travesty because this is a crime against humanity. And I have the pleasure every day, I say, of having wind beneath my wings to do this work because it takes a lot of gusto, so to speak, to work with individuals that have been violated over and over and over again against their own body. So the work that we do through the task force is we're the community response to eradicating sex trafficking through coordinated services, education and awareness, and policy and legislation. And the task force is open to the public. When we started 11 years ago, many people were not talking about it. But now it has gained momentum, and we really want it to be a household conversation so that we can really end human sex trafficking. Consequently, as a founder of the task force, I knew that I always wanted to have a not-for-profit, but I wanted it to be something that I'm always thinking about, really wanting to gain, just for everyone to have a solid knowledge about it. I've worked with women and girls the majority of my life, and I knew that this was the time. So I founded Foundations for Freedom, and the name speaking for itself, having your freedom built on top of a solid foundation. And it has been amazing. We're entering our 5th year, basically existing to strengthen women and girls, reducing their vulnerabilities to ultimately eradicate sex trafficking. And it's done through, again, education, awareness, advocacy, policy and legislation, and prevention.
Okay, and I want to talk more about your non-for-profit organization because you're doing outstanding things that really help make a difference in the lives of women and girls, like you said. And you said something key, that they're vulnerable in many ways. So you sometimes see young people who have been displaced out of their homes and maybe in the foster care system or in a group home. They're vulnerable because they are open to some of the tactics and the schemes that people use. So sometimes when we talk about human trafficking, we think of the boogeyman, you know, like somebody's going to come up, but really these are people who become friends or make these young ladies feel like there's somebody they can count on, and then after they gain that trust, that's when they strike, and these young ladies sometimes don't know how to get out of it, right?
Correct. Yeah, ladies, young male, men and boys, women and girls. But yes, as we focus on women and girls, the trafficker usually shows up as a boyfriend, someone they can trust, someone that has been in the family, moms, family members. It goes on and on how devastating this topic can be. And when someone sees a person that is vulnerable and easy to be lured through deception and lying, and even saying that they love them.
Yeah, well, I think another important thing to bring up is sometimes we hear people always focus on urban America and thinking this happens, but this happens in every single county, not only in Wisconsin, but across this country. And it's something that more and more people are becoming aware of and are more open to talk about and hear about, because at one time we really kind of just took a blind eye to it, I think.
Exactly. The narrative was that this was an inner city black girl, no father, and I added eating flour and water. It's like the low of the low. And we felt like, who cares? Martha and I, as founders of the task force, we began to beat the drum saying, not in our neighborhood, not in yours. At that time, it was the $32 billion industry. We're like, that's a lot of money for an inner city black girl, no father, eating flour and water. This has to be broader. But we didn't have the information. We just continued to beat the drum, not in our neighborhood, not in yours, not in our neighborhood, not in yours. And it was at that time Attorney General J.B. Van Hollen who expanded and said that human trafficking is occurring in all 72 counties. We were like, oh, had to be. And now 11 years later, the count is $150 billion worldwide.
Wow.
But when you consider that much money, it's important because this is an underground system. If that much has been counted, how much has not been counted? 27 million women and girls have been counted. How many have not been counted?
You're absolutely
We
right.
cannot rest.
Yeah. Wow. And so that leads us to the work that you're doing, especially through the Foundations for Freedom Incorporated. You actually have a youth council where they come together as young people, understanding the lifestyle of young people to address education, awareness, poverty, and violence. So talk more about that.
And one of the celebrations is at the Fashion Walk, and I don't want to get too far ahead of myself, but it's another opportunity when we go into the schools and we meet individuals, raising awareness so that they will be one less. And that's how the mantra, one less victim in Milwaukee is one less victim in the world.
Yeah.
As we continue to talk to our young people and empower them with what it looks like, what it feels like, paying attention to their gut, and knowing the information, then they will become one less victim.
Yeah.
So it's exciting because I had a young lady that came to me, now she's a senior, and she said, Ms. World-Patterson, I am who I am today because of what you taught me in the 6th grade. I was just like, wow.
Yeah.
Being empowered with the knowledge that they have.
Yeah.
So these are exciting times.
Yes, and what you're teaching that one young lady, she's going to teach someone else who comes
Exactly.
behind her. So you mentioned the Fashion Walk 2019. So let's get to that, because this is an opportunity for you to fundraise, to continue doing the work that's making a difference with these young ladies every single day. And that Fashion Walk's coming up Sunday, March 24th. Tell us more.
Yes, Sunday, March 24th, our Fashion Walk is designed to bring fashion, fun, and awareness. I was thinking, okay, so now as a not-for-profit, we have to raise money. How can I do this in a way that's fun yet educational?
Yeah.
So I was like, I love fashion.
That's
I
obvious.
love it. I love that. So let's bring it together and allow it to be community. So now we're bringing the young people back that have been taught about human trafficking as a prevention measure. They will model, and then the community advocates in the community, they model. We have survivor leaders that model, and then the second half are professionals.
All comes together very nicely. Yes.
Yes, and delicious food, music, DJ Sherman with at the
On the 1
mixing
and
it
2.
up at the 1 and 2, right? Mixing it up. It's a great time.
Yeah, and you mentioned bringing all these outstanding people together. So this is going to be at the Holiday Inn Riverfront.
Correct.
And that's at 4700 Port Washington Road.
Yes.
So if someone wants to get a ticket on the day of the event, they are able to do that, right?
They're able to do that at fashionwalk2019.eventbrite.com, or they can come to the event. It's usually sold out, but so don't wait. Don't wait, because we do sell out, but yes.
Okay, and I'll give that information again, fashionwalk2019.eventbrite.com. The reception begins at 3 and showtime is at 4:30 on the 24th.
413.
413, and that's a very important number. Go ahead and explain.
Because 13 is the average age that girls are trafficked domestically. So we're always just striking at, striking at, what do they call it? Just striking at the fire to keep the flames going.
Totally makes sense.
Yes.
413. And quickly, before we run out of time, Dana, there are several stories that have made the headlines. One that we've heard about recently is the NFL owner of the Patriots, Robert Kraft. He got arrested for soliciting prostitution that was linked to a human trafficking ring. That is still playing itself out. And then here in Milwaukee, we witnessed a heartbreaking story. A young mother and her 2-year-old child were murdered by the mother's ex-boyfriend / ex-pimp, and so he also happened to be that child's father. And when we heard that this was linked into human trafficking, you look at the picture of this mother and her child, and you say, wow, does it look like that was something she was a part of? And that's where people kind of lose sight that there is no particular look, right?
Exactly. And I would hear over and over, she was so pretty. She was so pretty. Human trafficking doesn't care how pretty you are, how thin you are, how robust you are. It doesn't matter what your zip code is. They're looking for vulnerability. And it is very sad and even gripping to think about the lives that were lost.
Yeah.
It's just very, very sad. Some people have said that it's not human trafficking, and we do have to split the hair. But I'm happy that the mayor mentioned human trafficking, the chief mentioned human trafficking, the director of Office of Violence Prevention mentioned human trafficking. That people are beginning to notice that human trafficking is playing a very real part in our community, and we all have to get involved. There is a splitting of the hair, because with human trafficking, you must have force, fraud, and coercion. It's not easy to get in, and it's not easy to get out.
Yeah, and that young lady was working to change her life, and ultimately it cost her and her baby's life. So we pray for her family and for all the young survivors that you deal with each and every day.
Yes, and I love to see them moving from surviving to thriving.
Yes.
Surviving isn't enough.
All right. Thank you, Dana, and thank you for all you do.
Oh, I appreciate you.
It's been a pleasure. Dana World-Patterson is the chair of the Human Trafficking Task Force of Greater Milwaukee and the CEO of Foundations for Freedom Incorporated. Again, their Fashion Walk 2019 is happening Sunday, March 24th at the Holiday Inn Riverfront at 4:13 p.m. Go to fashionwalk2019.eventbrite.com for all those details. That's going to do it for today's show. I'm your host, Andrea Williams. As always, thank you for watching, and I do hope you join us again next week as we take another look at our issues in Milwaukee. Have a great day.